Welcome to the Jeff Crilley Show. And now, here's Jeff Crilley.
Welcome back to the Jeff Crilley Show. We've got a fascinating segment up next. Courtney Kennebeck and Kevin Dahlberg are with Fossil Rim Wildlife Center in Glen Rose, and I've been there before. It's just a jewel that many people who have lived in North Texas their whole lives have no idea. So, Courtney, you are the Director of Business Development, and Kevin, you're on the Board of Directors. Why don't we begin with you, Courtney? For people who have never had the pleasure of going to a Fossil Rim, tell us about it.
Well, actually, I really think that they should come. I think what's really exciting is there's so many animals there that you would never, ever see in the wild. I mean, we have some that are extinct in the wild and so many that are critically endangered that it's just really their only opportunity to see them roaming free. But I think the most exciting part is when I see people, how excited that they get because you're able to touch them and feed them and do things. I mean, I've seen people pull over and cry in their cars because they've been having a bad day and a giraffe comes up and kind of cuddles on them. I mean, it's such an amazing, rare opportunity to
That's
go
beautiful.
and do. Yeah.
Now, how did you how were you attracted to Fossil Rim?
Fossil Rim. You know, I'd been out there several times before. I come from a charity background and have done, a lot of different things. But it's just such a special place. They do so much. I think that's one of the things. There's the perception and the reality. And, the perception is that we're, an animal safari park that people drive through. And they have these wonderful moments and the children get so excited and you get to see animals that you'll never see anywhere else. But, the reality is all the things that they do behind the scenes to save these animals that might not be around for much longer.
Wow. Kevin, let's bring you in on the conversation. How did you get involved?
A friend of mine asked me to come down and see if we can help out. And my love for animals goes back to when I was a kid. I always wanted to be. There's a show that was the Doctari, which is a large animal veterinarian that was down in Africa. They had a compound down there, and so they had a whole series of shows around the animals that were there and that they rescued and so on and so forth. And I got the rare opportunity to go down to Africa with the great-grandson of Charles Darwin.
Wow.
Back when I was 14. So we went there for roughly about a month and a half on a photographic safari. And just my love for African animals and wildlife in general grew from there. And so I had an opportunity to work on behalf of Fossil Rim and all we do down there and help raise money and help guide the business side of the house there. And so it is really unique. There's nothing like it in the United States I can think of where you can get that kind of interaction with the animals. You can see the animals in their native habitats together, not necessarily in a cage, in a fence. And so the scientific work that's going on down there is just really amazing. We're working with the Smithsonian. We're accredited by the American Zoological Society Association, just like any zoo or animal park.
Courtney, I promised before the break that we would talk about Valentine's Day and how people can join in. You have a really fun contest going, don't you?
We are very excited about it. We have never done it before, but we are offering naming rights to a girl cheetah that was born on September 8th, 2015. She's beautiful. Please go on our website and our Facebook and look at her. You can name her whatever you want. I think what's exciting is there's only about 7,000 cheetahs left in the wild. And Fossil Rim has done an amazing job, probably one of the top 3 cheetah breeders in the world. We've had over 160 animals, cheetahs born there, but still those numbers are so different than cars or diamonds or bags that are rare. This is an opportunity to name something for someone. It's very special, or your company that there are not very many of, and we need to save them. And all the money goes to our cheetah.
Wow. So people go to your website.
They go to our website, or they can go to my email, courtneyk@fossilrim.org, and contact me, and you can have your very own cheetah name.
Now, help me understand how the contest works.
It's not a contest. It's
Okay.
buying rights.
Oh, it is?
So, yep. This is our first time. It's $5,000, which is a lot cheaper than some bags.
Right,
I
absolutely.
don't know if you've seen the Birkins now worth $500,000, so you could buy lots of cheetahs. But yes, it's our first time doing it, so we're really excited.
And what's been the response so far? Have you?
People have been very excited. They don't realize how much, it's a tax deduction, but we'll be able to buy cameras, have more cheetahs, monitor them, their upkeep, their vet bills, everything. So it's a really good gift from the heart.
Absolutely. And Kevin, we've had you on the show before. You know everyone. When you talk to people about Fossil Rim, does it resonate with them? Because there's so many wonderful causes and places where people being pulled on to give their money. When you talk about Fossil Rim, does it resonate with people?
It does. There's a lot of people in Dallas who've been Dallas and Fort Worth and Texas in general who've been to Fossil Rim. But what they don't realize is what goes on behind the scenes. We have white rhinos, we have black rhinos. We're involved with conservation there. We have 3 different kinds of endangered wolves there. Cheetah breeding program is probably the largest amount of cheetahs in North America. In fact, almost every cheetah in North America can be traced back to Fossil Rim.
Wow. Cheetah Hill.
The Atwater prairie chicken we have probably 80 to 90% of the world's population.
Right. There's only 100 left in the wild, and we're the program that re-releases them. And it's a Texas bird.
Wow.
So it'd be sad to lose.
So we have 3 of the most endangered antelope on the planet, 2 of which are extinct in the wild.
Mm-hmm.
One, we think there's only 100 left. And we're now breeding those antelope, and so everybody can see them very successfully. And also then reintroducing them for the first time into Chad, reintroducing back in their native habitat with the support of the government there. So.
Well, one of the things that I admire about you guys is that you're telling your story and you're coming on shows like this, and you're really giving personality to some of the animals that you're protecting. You have a black rhino right now. Talk about that, Courtney.
We'll have to have Kevin talk about his girlfriend, Ursula, afterwards, because he really likes the white rhino, and that's a very good story, too. But Coco, she has a hurt foot. She's had a hurt foot for a while. And there's only 44 black rhinos outside of Africa, and they will be extinct by 2020 if the poaching continues. So it's very important that we get this animal bred. She can't be bred because her foot is hurt. She's 3,000, another 3,000-pound animal. It's a problem.
Right.
So they've gone through about half a dozen shoes. A bandage is not rhino-proof. Trying to get her foot better and stronger. So. Those are part of the programs that they're working on. And I'll kind of lead into Edith, who was a white rhino that was released from another zoo in the area because she was past production age. And she found a young rhino, and they had a baby. She had a baby at, I believe, 38? She was 36 when they released her.
The oldest rhino,
oldest rhino birth. And now she's 46, the oldest white rhino that we know of. But she had Ursula, which is one of my favorite stories because Kevin got to go behind the scenes and hug Ursula.
It's amazing to see these animals that are just absolutely massive. And to be up close and to have that through a fence, by the way. I'm big of it. But to scratch her underneath the chin and that kind of stuff, and have her lift a leg or lift it just like a dog. I mean, just the interaction was it was a life-changing experience.
Wow.
But the things we're doing there are absolutely amazing. The conservation, we're helping with the International Rhino Fund. We support that. We're helping with scientific research all around the world. We're losing 1 rhino a day to poaching. The value of their horn and the ability of Asian countries to pay for that at $250,000 to $500,000 per horn has raised the bar on poaching, and really funding those countries and helping them find ways to stop that poaching is part of our goal in conservation there. So we make the animals available to the public where you can see them one-on-one, very close, very interactive with the families, you can feed them. And then we're on the scientific side, but there's all kinds of things we do. And we're internationally acclaimed, although a lot of people don't know about us down there in England Rose.
I know that with that dentist scandal recently, poaching has been in the news. Do you feel like the public opinion on poaching is in your favor? Are you getting the kind of support that you want?
I think everyone is against poaching. I think that subject was kind of taken not out of context, I don't want to say, but it was just a series of really bad events. I think that they do a lot of conservation as well, hunters. So everybody does their part.
Right.
And
right.
we just want to save animals, and we just need more of them bred.
Absolutely. Well, so Kevin, tell people how they can get involved. How can people donate? And
well, first, we are self-sustaining at this point. I mean, we need funds all the time for raising infrastructure, for roads, for buildings, for feeding the animals. That's a huge undertaking. But we do raise money at the door, at the gate. So coming down to visit would be great. Glen Rose has a lot to offer. And for a day trip, we also have overnight facilities there. We have a safari camp that you can stay in a kind of a tent-like cabin and be out in the savannah, if you will, and see the migration of the sable or did the animals coming by in the morning or in the afternoon or all day long. And then we also have the lodge that has 5 suites. And then our gift store is the other 50% of what we make. But donations are what we live for. It allows us to expand our word about what we do down there. And just come visit, go on the website, follow us, like us on Facebook if you can't make a donation.
And Courtney, I'll give you the final word. The website is?
fossilrim.org.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank
was
you.
a wonderful segment. I appreciate
you.
it. Coming up next, we've been talking a lot about Powerball and striking it rich, and there's a big question out there. Does money buy you happiness? An expert is just ahead.
More of the Jeff Crilley Show coming up.